Welcome back to another video where I give my opinion that no one asked for. What's up, my little goblins? Welcome back to my channel. It's Remy, and today I want to talk about Haley Pham and her new book, Just Friends. Now, I want to preface, I'm a little biased because I love Haley Pham. I've been watching her since before she'd made book content, and I just am not really understanding the excessive hate on her new book. Also, to preface, I have not read this book yet. I know the arc is out and the actual book doesn't come out until I think March of 2026. But I do want to talk about some of the reviews that are already in the book, and I know there was a lot of hate on TikTok about her book, and I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. Right out of the gate, because she is a social media influencer and she is a YouTuber, a lot of people are not going to take her art very seriously. A lot of social media influencers that start on social media and then come out with music when that's really something they've always wanted to do, it always gets very heavily criticized because they're seeing this as, oh, another social media influencer making music, another YouTuber making music. And with Haley, it's not anything different. Another YouTuber writing a book. Because I don't know if you guys remember, but it was like, I think 2016, when all these YouTubers were coming out with like, I don't know if it was like autobiographies or memoirs or something. And they were all just making books, whether it was poetry books or it was the memoirs or whatever. And they were just asked to have a book deal because of their following and all this jazz. So I can understand why people would immediately think, oh my god, another YouTuber making a book for money. But I feel like for Haley, it is not this case because she has talked about how she's always wanted to be an author and how she's always wanted to write a book. Now, before I continue with my opinion, let's talk about some of the reviews. 1 star, not good, not at all. Get a better editor, boo. And go take some writing classes before writing a book you want to immediately get on the New York Times bestseller list. Influencer privilege, insanity. 1 star. This is supposed to be new adult. Didn't expect any more from this. It's actually worse than expected. It's giving influencer privilege. 2 stars. Another industry plant that skipped the line because they got a YouTube following. Now, these comments are discussing influencer privilege or YouTuber privilege, and honestly, this is a real thing. These companies or this publishing industry, whatever it may be, music, a book, or whatever, they know that these influencers have a lot of following, and no matter what they put out, their fans will buy it. So these companies know they'll have at least some sales, right? I understand the frustration of seeing a YouTuber put out a book and immediately get traditionally published when you have probably a favorite author who's still having to indie publish because they can't get their book traditionally published. It is very hard to get your book traditionally published because you have to convince these publishers that you will make sales. And YouTubers automatically have a following, like I said, so they will automatically have a good amount of sales. Now, with that being said, if you were given the opportunity to complete a lifelong goal that you've had since you were a child, wouldn't you take it? I think that people are very upset about the fact that she's a YouTuber and it got published and the book isn't very good. From what I've heard, again, I haven't read the book. I do still want to read the book. Nobody is going to be really that great at writing overnight. There are authors that we love and maybe their first books were not great. You know what I'm saying? Let's read a couple more reviews and I want to discuss that a little bit further. Now, this next review was a little rude. Not even a little, it was rude. It was attacking Haley specifically. I will not be reading that part of the review because I think that is outrageous to attack the author. So I'm going to just read the first part of the review. 1 star. Basic title, plot, characters, front cover, and author. It makes me so annoyed that this book is being rated highly by people with a parasocial relationship with the author, despite not even reading it. This is so unfair to authors without platforms who can actually write well-rounded books, have talent, and didn't start reading because of TikTok. Now, before we move to the next review, I do want to talk about how people rate books before they've even read them. I do think that's a little crazy. This is not just because of a YouTuber either. People do this with authors they love and they see a book's coming out. It's already on Goodreads, but they haven't read it yet because the book's not out yet. The arc's not even out yet. They start already rating it 5 stars because they love the author so much. This is something that a lot of people do, not just because a YouTuber put out a book. 1 star. Awful book. Should have just stuck to YouTube. You start reading and suddenly you think you can write. Now, I want to talk about that a little bit. I don't think she started reading and suddenly thought she could write. You do not know what was going on in this woman's home. She could have been doing writing exercises and doing writing prompts and writing backstories for her own characters, for anything, for The Sims, for video games, for Animal Crossing. She could have been making up random creative writing exercises and just wanted to write a book. Okay? She loves reading. She loves stories. Maybe she just wanted to write. And I think personally, we are watching this woman grow as an author and a writer in the public view. She completely documented everything she was doing with her book, from when she started writing it to the editing process until it was published. We are watching her grow so much as an author and a writer. We are watching her write her debut novel and put it out for us to see. And it might not be great. It might not be great. It's her debut novel. I feel like a lot of people are forgetting that your debut novel is not going to be great. It's not going to be the best thing you've ever written in your entire life. It's not going to be a masterpiece. From a video that I watched critiquing the book, the girl was talking about how she was watching a Haley Pham video, and in the video, Haley was reading, obviously, and she had learned a word from this book, had looked it up, and then she used it in her book. And this girl was criticizing her for not knowing this word and pronouncing it wrong and then using it in her book. This is how a lot of people learn words they don't use on day-to-day life, is through reading. If I find a word in a book that I don't know, I look it up. That is very common. I didn't understand why this girl was so upset, and she did make a video afterwards saying that she wasn't meant to be rude, and she wasn't trying to call Haley stupid. But the way that it came across did seem like she was being rude towards Haley specifically, not even just about the book. It was just the way she was talking about her. And again, like she said, she wasn't meaning to do that. But I do think a lot of people are. There's a review on here that I have that I didn't read that part, but they were straight up calling Haley stupid. And I just kind of think this is insane for people to do. Why? I really genuinely think it's just because she is a popular YouTuber and she has a following. People are automatically critiquing her, and just because her debut novel isn't the most masterpiece, amazing, beautiful thing in the world, that it's automatically trash, garbage. She should never be a writer. She should never write anything again. Like, how is she supposed to grow as a writer if she doesn't continue writing?
In this book, Stephen King talks about how to write, and his famous quote is, "The path to HE double hockey sticks is lined with adverbs." Adverbs like softly, crazily, hollowly, awkwardly, and quickly. So whenever he uses them, I notice it so much because he hates them, but he still uses them sometimes. And this is the most I've ever seen him use them in this one paragraph. And like I was mentioning earlier, I kept seeing adverbs, so I also looked up when On Writing was published, which was in 2000, the year I was born, which is pretty cool that his opinions here were even different from what he had published previously. And through 60 something books, he has improved and changed his opinions about writing, and this is probably still going to be an amazing book. Can you tell I'm saying all these things to make myself feel better as an aspiring author?
Now, when I saw this video and saw Haley talking about how she had felt relief seeing that one of the best authors in the world also made mistakes in his early writings, truly kind of made me upset, because I feel like she has seen, maybe she hasn't, but I feel like she has seen a lot of the hate that people are giving to her book. And I think that she knows it's not the best thing she's ever written in her life. And I would hope not. I would hope my debut novel wouldn't be the best thing I've ever written in my entire life. Like, peak on my debut novel? That'd be awful. You know what I'm saying? We always have room to grow. And I think that everyone is judging her so harshly, and there's no need to. It's so unnecessary. She is writing because she loves to write. She loves to read. She loves characters. She loves stories. And I think that's amazing. There has been some awful books that have been traditionally published, and people love them. So I think that if her book was not your cup of tea, or her writing or her prose is not your cup of tea, give your rating, don't be rude to the author, and move on. There's no reason to attack her intelligence or to say that she shouldn't be an author and should stick to YouTube. We're all growing as people. We're all growing in skills we have, whether that be a hobby or whatever. She's growing her skill in writing. And you know what? This probably isn't the first book she's tried to write. I personally, as a writer, I have attempted multiple books to write, and they will never see the light of day. So you don't know how far she's come with her writing, and I think that everyone should just be open-minded. And Haley, if you're watching this, you're probably not, but if you are, girl, keep writing, and I will read every book you write. And if it turns out your prose is not my cup of tea, I might not continue reading, but I just want you to know that you need to continue doing what you love, no matter what anybody is saying. I truly think that you can grow to be an amazing author. You can be someone's favorite author. It might not be these people that are rating your book 1 star and talking awfully about you, but it will be someone. You will be someone's favorite author, and that is the most amazing thing. Keep writing and keep it up. I love your videos. And yeah, everybody else, stop being rude to her, okay? Leave her alone. Leave her alone and let her live. Let her be who she is and let her write. And as long as what she's writing isn't controversial and awful and hateful, then there's no reason to be mean to her or rude to her, okay? Great, fantastic. Have a wonderful day. And you know what? That's my opinion. And opinions are like assholes. You know what they say about assholes? Everyone's got one. Have a great night. Bye.